Hello and welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Wanda here again with day 4 of the Magic of Fear Challenge. Why have I called it the Magic of Fear? Hang on a minute. Why have I called the Magic of Fear? And that is because when fear shows up, it is an indicator that our energy is out of alignment whenever we are worried. Does that make sense? So I call it the magic because we look at fear in such a negative way. We look at fear like there's something wrong with us or something wrong with our world. And we don't really realize that when fear shows up, like it bubbles up, it is an indicator for us already that we are out of energetic alignment, or our vibe is a little bit wobbly. And so what I'm going to talk about today is the fear of uncertainty. And whenever there is change and whenever we need to make a decision, there's always us. Hi, everybody who's hopped on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today I'm talking about uncertainty. And we all as human beings struggle with uncertainty. And what does uncertainty mean? It means that whenever we do something new or different, that we need to be certain that it's the right thing for us. And a lot of the time we're using our head and we are not listening to our gut feeling. And that is the biggest thing that lets us down, because in our society, we learn to think that our head is the big thing. Now, being an intuitive person like myself, I have always worked on my intuition until I learned to not trust it. And then I started to put my faith in what other people were saying to be the best thing for me. And that was the worst thing I've ever done in my whole life, because I didn't trust my gut. I didn't trust me. And so I thought, oh, my mother knows better than me, or my father knows better than me, and other people know better than me. And so therefore I won't trust me because I don't make good decisions. I can't see the outcome where other people can. And so that was my biggest relearning, getting right back to what does my gut feeling say. Sometimes your gut feeling can lead you to a spot, if you share it with other people, that other people will give their opinion. And because we like to have people thinking, oh, that's a great idea, we like to have other people's approval of our decision making, that we go, oh, well, maybe that's not the right thing for me to do. So something has come up in your gut feeling and says, yeah, do that, go for it. And then you go, hey, dad or mum or darling, I'm feeling I'm going to do this. And then someone goes, oh, look, I don't think so about that. Look, I don't know. You haven't got the money for it. How's this going to happen? And, there could be rapists around. You just don't know. And so you don't do it. And so therefore then you let that go, and you just never know what that new experience is all about. So Mel Robbins, if you type that in the comments box, those of you who are still on, welcome. Those of you who are still on, so if you type that in, Mel Robbins often talks about the 5-second rule. And when you get a little feeling to do something, unless you take action on it in 5 seconds, you will just let that slip by. And sometimes listening to that little voice inside your body, that little voice that goes, do this, go talk to that person, go say hello, or walk down that alleyway, or walk across the road. That usually that little voice is trying to lead you to the next best step, and you are not listening. And I can give you a perfect example. When I was in my 40s, I was in a very down part of my life. I actually resigned from my job because there was someone coming in that was another form of Hitler in my, view. And I left that. I was completely open to new opportunity. And I was feeling a bit down because once I'd done all of this, I sort of decided for myself, oh my God, I second guessed myself. Have I made the right decision? And I was a bit fed up with the way where I was living, and I didn't know how to get out of it. No job, I'd created this, okay? So I thought, so after having a bit too much scotch one night, I decided, I woke up that morning not having a headache whatsoever, but I knew right from the very core of me, being an intuitive person, that I had to make some shift in myself. I had to do something different to get out of my environment and do something different that would help me look at things in retrospect. Okay, so as I went, I said, and I thought this straight away. I thought, okay, if I wanted anything in my life right now, what would that be? Okay, go away somewhere. So go somewhere different. That was the thought that came up. Okay, so where do I want to go? Europe? No. New Zealand? No. Spain? No. And I'm going through in my head all these places, and I just kept getting no. So I thought, fine. Now, seriously, I decided, oh, look, you know what? I'll go and sit on the toilet. Seriously, I was sitting on the toilet, and I was looking down at the floor, and there on the floor was a newspaper that my son had left there in the morning. And in the smallest of writing down the bottom of the newspaper was the sentence, enjoy art and craft bazaars, beach style living, and ancient temples. I read that and I went, oh my God, that's just what I want. I want something like that. Where is it? And then I picked up the newspaper, looked at the tiny writing, and it had on it the Yucatan. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, the Yucatan is in Mexico. So I thought, oh my God, Mexico. Baby, 1 hour later, I had gone to the travel agent and I had booked myself a trip with a girlfriend who called in the meantime, a trip to Mexico, and we left within 24 hours. I didn't have any money except a credit card. I didn't have any job to go to, and yet I knew this was what I was going to do. Had I thought about going to Mexico in my life? Never. Now, 24 hours later, my girlfriend and I were sitting at the airport, and I looked at her and she handed me my customs declaration thing, and I thought, shit, what am I doing? And I looked at her and I said, are we doing the right thing? And she said, I don't know, but we're going anyway. And you know what? That journey was the best trip, the best, deepest awakening in me I've ever experienced in my life, because it was completely out of the box, and it was something that I did that I have never regretted, and it was the most freeing thing that I've ever done. Now, did that fear go away at that moment when my friend handed me the customs declaration? No, because when I was sitting on the aeroplane and there was a little bit of turbulence, I thought, I'm going to die. And I thought, am I ready to die? You know, all these little fears that our mind tends to tell us. When we got to Mexico, we lost our luggage. All these weird things happened. Yet inside all of that, of our need to have things certain and our desire to have things exactly in place, we're never ready for the wrong thing. So what I'm wanting to say to you is this, that sometimes operating outside the certainty, operating outside things needing to be certain, it's good to be uncertain, because then we get to play. And it doesn't matter if there are mistakes. So bloody what? I mean, where's that going to get you? You're going to remain in that little box forever. Anyway, this is what I want to talk to you about, that the only certain thing in your life, you know, really there is no certainty at all. There is none. This is a huge experiment for you to go out and explore the world. Will you make mistakes? Yeah, but that doesn't matter. You know, that the world has created that idea that you're not allowed to make mistakes and success is brilliance. Success is built on one failure after the other. Get that into your head, because that is the truth. And another thing is, the only thing that is certain is that one day your physical body will die. Your spirit won't, but your physical body will die. And that is it. Everything else is uncertain. And I can't tell you how many times I talk about this with my tarot clients, that they want certainty in a relationship, that they want certainty in buying a house, they want certainty in this, and they want certainty in that. And that is the biggest problem. And this is what you do. There are some things I want you to consider when you are, looking for certainty in your life. And this is it. This is it. Number one, ask yourself, do I want this? Or why do I want this? No, start again. What do you want to do next? And then ask yourself why you want it. If that's like a bubbling feeling that you keep getting, ask yourself what you want and why you want it. And if that works, if that feels right, then once you've made your decision, well, I'll go about it and I'll do it, then you say to yourself, I'm looking down at my notes, then you say to yourself, I want this and it is already done. I want this and I expect it to happen. And you let the universe then fill in the blanks, and you take your expectations out of the box. All you can see is your vision of the future, of what you want and why you want it, and then allow things to take place. Take the necessary actions to go ahead and do it. I hope that makes sense for you. That's the best thing I can say. Whenever you are in things have to be right and I don't know what to do and is it the right thing, you are out of vibrational alignment and you are actually in the path of resistance. You're resisting what your inner calling is, or your inner vision, or your inner feeling, right? And so when you're in that space, you're not making any decisions, right? So fear of uncertainty, there is never certainty at all in anything we do. And everything that we take action on, every decision that we make based on fear will completely be that. It'll be a failure. Now, does that mean that that's bad? No, it just means that you won't get where you want to be in the shortest amount of time. As human beings, we want to have certainty, we want it done in a certain way and in our expectation. And we're not allowing the universe, our co-creator, to help us along, and that's not how our life is working. So what you need to do is to think about that. You need to, number one, am I being called to do something? Am I listening to my inner guidance? And when you get that funny feeling to do something and you act on it, does it mean that all those funny thoughts will come back? Yeah, they will. But you keep going on your path. You keep going. And that's the best thing that you can do. And finally, one more thing I'd love to say to you is this. Listen to Mel Robbins. Listen to the people who are successful and see what they have done. And if you want to model that, model it. You don't have to, because everyone has their own way of finding things. And if you rest assure yourself and know and understand that there is no such thing as certainty in your life except for what I've just discussed, then know that, and if you treat life like an adventure, that you treat life as if you're going on a big adventure with nowhere to go, nowhere to be, and no expectation of what will happen when you get there, and you just sort of solve it as you go, life will be so much easier for you. And it'll take the hardness and take the struggle out of your life. Okay, I hope that's been helpful for you, my darlings. And in the meantime, have a look at your own assessment of what you believe uncertainty be in your life. Are you an addict to uncertainty? Do you need certainty in your life? Because Trust me, my darlings, there is no such thing, and there's so much fun awaiting you when you embrace uncertainty and just allow things to flow. And if you're not entirely sure, if you're feeling, I'm not sure, then that is also indicating that your thought energy and your inner guidance energy is not in flow. Because when you have that inspiration, when you have a feeling that, it gives you goosebumps, or it makes you take action, it's almost like a trigger, then that sometimes is what you should be listening to. Should, yes, yes, yes. Learning to listen to your inner guidance. And that is what life is all about, my friends. So until next time, tomorrow is the last day. And I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about, but if you'd love to comment on this, where are you uncertain in your life right now? What can you learn from this video? And what have you learned about certainty and uncertainty? What have you got to share? Because every little comment helps others along their journey too. May God bless you all. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to being with you tomorrow on the last day of the Magic of Fear Challenge. Bye for now.